we're here with Carol Cisecki and Nashi. Welcome, Carol.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation, Marianne.
You're welcome. And so tell us, what does Nashi mean and how did it get started?
I would love to. Nashi in Ukrainian means ours. And we started as an organization in 2004. It's very grassroots. The individuals that started read a book by Victor Malarick, who I'll tell you about in a few minutes, called The Natashas, and it talked about human trafficking. So the people that are volunteering with Nashi, because we have no staff, it's all volunteers, they strongly believe that human trafficking is such a huge problem in the world that we can each individually do something. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it's a little thing or a great big thing. If we donate, if we give of our time, if we fundraise, everyone can do something. And so from 2004, we have grown and purchased a trade school in Ukraine in 2008 and have renovated that and are now housing young girls.
Oh, awesome.
So in that time, from 2004 to now, we've done an incredible amount of fundraising, and I can tell you about some of those events as well.
How do you do the fundraising?
Well, each year our big fundraiser is called Pierogi Paradise. So in March, we have an all-you-can-eat pierogi feast at the Cathedral of the Holy Family. And we have pinching bees, pierogi making bees, because they're all handmade. We have 5 different kinds of pierogis. And we have a huge event, and 500 people come out and have all you can eat. We have a great silent auction and a live auction, and we talk about our project in Ukraine, but we also raise awareness for human trafficking. Human trafficking, so that people know why do we do this? Why do we even care about human trafficking? Canada is actually, our Canada is a source, transit, and destination for men, women, and children that are subject to sex trafficking. And it's also a destination for men and women for forced labor. Because trafficking, in the sense of the legal, the criminal code, there are actually 6 offenses under the criminal code that deal with human trafficking. We often, we have 2 focuses. One is our project in Ukraine, which houses the young girls, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute, and education in Canada. So we have had numerous workshops and conferences and youth forums raising the awareness of human trafficking in Canada, in our Canada. So in providing that information in those workshops, we work with the local police services, we work with the RCMP, with individuals, MPs that work on human trafficking, Joyce Smith, she was a member of Parliament, and individuals that have been subjected to human trafficking. So human trafficking is not kidnapping, it's not smuggling, it's the exploitation of individuals. For example, one of the criminal code offenses is if you were coming to Canada and I was going to traffic you, the first thing I would do is take away your passport. So I've preyed on you because of poverty, because of war, because you've come from an area that you're really looking for hope. So the human trafficking that happens then, I would bring you into Canada and I would then look for some way to use you. Human trafficking is the fastest, they estimate, is one of the fastest growing crimes in Canada, in the world actually, only second to drug smuggling and drug sales.
That's what I heard. In the 21st century, this is one of the
That's right. And it's estimated to have an income of $12 billion.
Oh my goodness.
So when you think of drugs, everyone thinks of drugs being just an awful crime, that it's, there's cartels, there's drug smugglers, there's, they're selling drugs in schools, and it's a horrible situation. Well, human trafficking is on the same level. So when you talk about human trafficking, we heard about the problem. We thought we were going to do something about it. We're going to start raising money. When we decided to buy the building in 2008, it was a huge undertaking. It was a building that needed major renovation. It will house up to 20 girls. Right now we have 12.
Okay, and that's right in Ukraine?
It's right in Ukraine,
And what's
in
the name
western
of-
Ukraine.
what's the name of this
It's
house?
just north of Lviv. We don't often say the name of it
Okay.
just so that people don't visit it.
Okay.
But it is, it's housing 12 young girls, and we're very proud of it because as a charity, we're a registered charity in Canada.
Okay.
They're a registered charity in Ukraine.
Okay.
So we send money electronically. It's wonderful online. We send it once a month. We thought that the girls would be in their teens. What's happening is that criminals are approaching orphanages in Ukraine, and the request is now for younger girls.
Oh my goodness.
So we now have girls from age 6 to 13.
Isn't that sad, eh?
And it is. But we give them love. We give them a family. We give them hope, and we're providing leadership. So our goal is to provide that. First of all, that self-esteem, so that they know that they can go ahead and make a difference in the world, and that hopefully they will guide others to divert from human trafficking, so that they can create a sustainable system, so that those girls that are susceptible to the criminals that are coming in and trying to buy them, because they're being sold for less than $100. There's so much corruption in the world, and from what we see in Ukraine, we have to combat that. So for us to do that, we purchased the building. It was a 2-story building. We started raising money, and we've put a 3rd floor to accommodate the 20 young girls.
Okay.
And it was wonderful. In this small village of 7,000, they had to open the brick factory, and the volunteers paid their own way. We went down and cleaned up the old building, and as it's been renovated, we've done some volunteer work on the building as well.
Well, that's why I wanted to have you on my show, because Nashi rocks, because it's all done by volunteers.
Yes.
And how much money have you raised over the years?
I can't tell you exactly how much, what that dollar amount is. When we first started the capital campaign to purchase the building and to renovate it, that portion has been done, but it's not just the building, because it's the grounds. We had to have the Ukrainian government pass it. We had to have inspections done. There was a perimeter built around it. It's a safe place for these young girls, but they're part of the community. So our donors, who are very generous, and you being one of them, because
Thank you very much.
you actually had last year created this small book that we were able to sell and make $2,000.
Yes.
And it's called a chapbook. And it's called The Time for Peace, and it was a wonder. It sold out just so quickly. So the support that we have from our donors is fantastic. The fundraisers that we've been able to do, aside from Progi Paradise, the Ukrainian Canadian Professional Business Club has offered to, or association, sorry, has offered to give us the proceeds of their golf tournament. We are very fortunate in being the benefactor next February of King of Kubasa, which is February 2nd.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
February 2nd, 2017. Our next Progi Paradise is March the 11th, I believe it is, the Saturday, 2017. And in our fundraising efforts, with a documentary that was shot by Victor Malarick and his daughter called One Progi at a Time.
Okay.
It was aired on Omni and has now been aired across Canada. We receive a lot of donations from supporters that believe in what we're doing.
Well, it's so important to educate people and to
It
stop
is.
human trafficking. And I know Victor Malarick has been a really good supporter
He has.
of Nashi. And tell us a little bit about this book.
Victor is an investigative reporter with CTV, and he has been a tremendous support and a tremendous friend of Nashi since the beginning. He writes books that are nonfiction, and he's just released a fictional book. And what he does is he has them published, and then I'll maybe pass it to you. He has them published, and he allows us to sell them with the proceeds from the books that go directly to Nashi. And he also comes out and speaks at our fundraisers, or when he can, at our events. And he is just, he's come to Ukraine, he's come to the project, and he's just a fantastic ambassador. We've had a youth forum also in 2011. And that was money that we received, a small grant to hire Craig Kielburger to come out. Before the Wee Days became so popular, we had Craig Kielburger before Potash Corp. And
That's
he came out to tell the kids, the children in high schools and elementary school, that they can make a difference in their purchasing power. Forced child labor is something that is all over the world, and with Wee Days, he just instills in the youth that they can also make a difference. So this youth forum that we had with Craig coming out to speak to the students attracted almost 1,200 participants. It was a 2-day forum. So we've got Victor Malarick, we have Craig Kielburger. Recently in September, we had Ruslana perform. So we have a lot of ambassadors.
Well, you're doing a wonderful job, and I thank you for being on my show. And it's really important that we talk about this difficult topic and raise money and awareness. So thank you very again. And how can they get a hold of you if they want further information?
We have a website. It's actually just nashi.ca. They can go to for information, to make donation, and we have a cell number, 281-9877. And if they want any information, or if they want to find out about upcoming events, we have newsletters. You can join our mailing list. You can volunteer. We are volunteers. We welcome anyone.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you being on our show.
Thank you very much, Marian.
It's been delightful to have Carol Cisecki here with Nashi.